Hello again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. Hi! Hope all of you are doing really well today. I'm doing pretty spiffy because it is that time of the week where I get to show you a new project. And this one especially, I am so pleased and proud of because it took a lot of fiddling, a lot of finagling, and a lot of figuring and frogging, but we did it! Yes, this is the pineapple poncho. Really, really exciting. I love the pineapple, its simplicity, its elegance, its laciness, and how, for the most part, you are stitching into spaces, not into actual stitches, so it flies by really, really fast. And I'm sorry, I'm gushing a bit because this piece is just so gorgeous. I love it. And for today's piece, I used Lion Brand's Pound of Love. And this video is sponsored by Lion Brand. Thank you ever so much for your continued support. I really, really, really appreciate it. And this yarn was perfect. Now, I used just over 1 skein for this project. Now, it's a little bit large on me, so I probably could have gone 1 repeat less and only had to use 1 skein. So not bad, because the yardage, it's over 1,000 yards and it's a weight of 4. And so this is one of my mainstays. This yarn I use for so many projects because I love the softness and I really love the yardage. It is a powerhouse. And so for today's example, I used the colorway of Quartz. And we're going to be using the same yarn for today's example. Now, where is my hook? Here's my hook. And I used a 6mm size hook, which is a size J. Now, you can, of course, use whatever works best for you. However, there is one little caveat to this project, the neckline. And when I say that, it's because it is a set number of chains for the neckline, which I'm going to show you right now. Here we go. Okay, so this right here is our neckline. And so if it is a little bit too small for you, you might want to increase the size of your hook. But yeah, it is a set number of chains. Otherwise, the math will not do the mathing. I'm just putting that out there ahead of time. And it is 64 chains. So you may need to up the size of your hook in order to get that flexibility in there. But, other than that, it's very, very straightforward. And we have a lot of work and a lot of ground to cover because there's a lot going on with this project. And so this will be a crochet along of sorts, multiple parts, but we're going to get through it together. So let's get to it. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Round 1. Now, as I previously mentioned, we need a total of 64 chains for our neckline. And we're going to scan through our chain to make sure that it is not twisted anywhere. Otherwise, we end up with a Mobius. So scanning through the chain. All right, there's the end. And then all you do is just turn it towards our hook. And I'm going to take the easy way out, which is I'm just going to go underneath the top loop of the V and do a slip stitch. You could go underneath both loops of the V. You could go underneath the back bump of the V. Whatever it is that you choose to do is totally fine. And so I'm going to slip stitch right into there. And we now have our neckline, our ring. Now, because I like to have a bit of a foundation to work off of, going to chain 1 and single crochet into that same stitch, and then single crochet into each chain all the way around. And I'm going to do this off camera because this is for me, oh, I missed apply. For me, this is the most fiddly aspect of the project, but other than this, it's actually really quite easy. And so you just do a single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and then you slip stitch to the first single crochet that you did, and then we can get started with the actual patterning. So I'm going to keep on keeping on off camera, and I will meet back up with you for round 2. Okay, so I'm almost done with my first round. I just have 3 more single crochet stitches to go, and then I will show you the slip stitch join. So just going to go into these last few stitches. If I can get into both plies. There we go. And also, I'm sure that I'm going to get a lot of questions if I have a written pattern. I do not. No, I did not write out the pattern for this. All we have right now is just the video tutorial. I am sorry, but just the video. Okay, so I did my stitches, and now into that very first single crochet, a slip stitch to join. And actually, before doing that, you might want to make sure that your piece is not at all twisted. Mine's not, but you might want to check just to make sure, because after this, there's no going back. All right, and that is the end of round 1. Okay, round 2. Okay, now, like with most ponchos, we have our mega increase at the back and at the front, and then along the sides we have sort of a straightaway, and so this is no exception. So for the back, we need a total of 8 stitches, which it's going to be 2 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces. So going to chain up 2 for our first double, and then into that same stitch another double. So we have 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 more doubles into that same stitch. It's going to seem a little bit crowded, but it does work. Oops. Okay, chain 1, 2 more doubles in that same stitch. Chain 1, and 2 more doubles in the same stitch. So we have 8 double crochets paired together with a chain stitch in between the pairs. Okay, now from here, we need to anchor this down to our single crochets here. And so into the 4th stitch, we're gonna skip 3 of our stitches. Now you want to be careful that you don't miss it. See, this one, it's a little bit squooshed, but that is one of our single crochets. So 1, 2, 3 into the 4th stitch, anchor this down with a single crochet stitch. Like so. Then skipping another 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 into the 4th, a double crochet. Like so. And then you need to add 9 more for a total of 10. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and yes, I'm going to double count. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Perfect. Okay, and then we need to anchor this down as well. Skipping 3 stitches. Be sure that you don't lose that first one. So 1, 2, 3 into the 4th. Anchor it down with a single crochet. And then we've reached the side of our piece. So going to skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do some more groupings of double crochets, but not as many. Instead of 8, we're only going to do 6. So double crochet into that 4th stitch, another double. So that's the first pair. Chain 1, 2 more doubles, chain 1, and 2 more doubles. Skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 into the 4th, anchor it down with a single crochet. Skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 into the 4th, 10 double crochets. One, two, 3, 4. Sorry, I'm just trying to get more yarn situated here. Okay, I got 4. I'm getting there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this should be 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay. Skipping 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 into the 4th, anchor this down with a single crochet. And so at this point, we have the very back spine, and then we have a fan of 10. This is the side spine, if you will. And then we have another grouping of 10. Now we are up to the front spine once again. So skip 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 into the 4th stitch. We're going to do another 8 doubles, groupings of 2 separated by chain 1 spaces. So into that 4th stitch, double crochet, another double, chain 1, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Yarn! Okay, so that is the halfway point, and now we're going to do the same sort of thing on the opposite edge. Okay, so we just did our groupings of 8 doubles. Skip 3 stitches into the 4th, anchor it down with a single crochet. Skip 3 stitches again into the 4th. Going to do a grouping of 10 doubles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, from here, anchor this down. So skipping 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th, single crochet to anchor it. Skip 3 stitches again, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th. We need another grouping of 6. So double into that 4th stitch. 1, 2, chain 1, 3, 4, chain 1, 5, and 6. Okay, skip 3 stitches into the 4th, single crochet. Skip 3 stitches into the 4th, 10 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and should be 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Love it when things work out. Okay, and then from here, we're almost at the end. From here, skip 3 stitches into the 4th, anchor it down with a single crochet. Okay, and then going to slip stitch to our first double crochet. Now I only chained up 2, so I'm going to go in the second chain from the bottom and get underneath both loops of the V and slip stitch like so. Now, you could, of course, start all of your rounds by chaining up 3 for your first double, but as with most things, I think that this looks a little bit cleaner. So, dealer's choice. It's really up to you. Now, to finish up round 2, we just need to get to this center chain 1 space. So we're going to slip stitch our way to that. We already went into the first double. Slip stitch into the second double. Slip stitch into the chain space. And then slip stitch into the next 2 doubles. And slip stitch finally into that chain space. Okay. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, this looks wonky. Well, don't worry. It will flesh itself out more as we keep going. And so your neckline is actually sort of a squarish, rectangular-ish shape at the moment. At the top, we have our 8 double crochets, pairs of 2s separated by chain 1 spaces. Then we've got a grouping of 10. On this side, we have our 6 doubles, groupings of 2 separated by chain 1 spaces. In the corner, another grouping of 10. Down here, we have our 8 doubles, pairs separated by chain 1 spaces, another grouping of 10, grouping of 6 separated by the chain 1 spaces, and the 10 in the corner. And so we're off to a good start. Now I know it's slow going, but again, like I said, this is the fiddly part. It will get a lot easier as we keep going. So if you can get this far, thumbs up to you. Yes, it will get a lot easier. And, well, let's get to it. Round 3. Okay, so start off by chaining up 2 as our first double, and then into the same space here, another double. Chain 1 and 2 more doubles. And this is pretty much how you're going to start most of your rounds. Chaining up 2, another double, chain 1, and 2 more doubles for your first grouping. Okay, into this next chain 1 space, right over here, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. There we go. Now, this chain 1 space over here, we will get to that when we come full circle. But right now, we're pretty much sticking to the center of the spine. So we've got our 2 double V clusters. Now from here, we're going to go into our grouping of 10, and we're going to do a double crochet into each separated by a chain 1 space. There's no chain in between the double V cluster and our fan here, though. Keep that in mind. And another thing to keep in mind is that you don't want to go into the single crochet that we did, but we want to go into the double crochet stitch that we did from the previous round. So double crochet into the double, chain 1, double into the next double, and so we're giving our fan a little bit more room to breathe by doing a double and a chain 1 in between each double until we've got a total of 10 doubles separated by chain 1 spaces, and then we have some more clusters to do, the double V clusters. And yes, in this project there are a ton of double V clusters, but they are really easy to work because we're working into stitch spaces, and those are the kinds of projects that I like most. Makes it so much easier. And we've got, what, 2 more? So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Perfect. It never hurts to double count, seriously. Okay, so right now, since we did 6, we have 2 chain 1 spaces, one here and one in here. And into those chain 1 spaces, double V clusters. So into that first chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, and then scooting to the next chain 1 space with 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay, then we've got another grouping of 10. So again, that is double crochet into each double and separate them by chain 1 spaces. And it's the groupings of 10 that are going to become our first pineapples. And for right now, yes, I'm doing the entire round on camera. But after we get to a certain point, I'm only going to be doing about half, I think. So as we can save some time, because once you have reached the halfway point, the second half, it's the exact same thing. So I think that that's kind of fair. All right, that should be 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Perfect. Okay, now from here, this is the back spine where we have, excuse me, 3 chain 1 spaces. We got one here, one in the middle, and then another one here. So double V clusters in each of the 3 chain 1 spaces. So 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, next chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, next chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1 and 2 doubles. Okay, so that is the halfway point. So we've got 3 clusters on the front spine, 2 clusters on the side spine, and the back spine, well, it's not done yet, but it will be. It will have 3 clusters. We still have to do this one here. But, you know, we're getting there. We're cooking with gas. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so we just did the front spine, and we have another grouping of 10. So 10 double crochets separated by chain 1 spaces. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 doubles separated by the chain 1 spaces. Okay, so this is our side cluster. So into those 2 chain 1 spaces, double V clusters. So into that chain space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Next chain 1 space, 2 doubles. Chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay, another grouping of 10. Hop right in there with a double and a chain 1 in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 1, 7, chain 1, 8, chain 1, 9, chain 1, and 10. Okay, then skipping right along to the chain 1 space, this is the back spine. So into that chain 1 space, a double V cluster. So 2 doubles. Chain 1, 2 more doubles. And then, to get where we need to be, slip stitch into the top of that first double. That's the second chain from the bottom. Slip stitch into there. Slip stitch into the next double. And slip stitch into the chain 1 space. And we are exactly where we need to be. Okay. Now, yes, I know it's early days still, but we are getting there. So let's scooch this out. So your piece should look like this. Yes, it's early days, I'm well aware, but we are getting there. All right, let us proceed on to round 4. Round 4. Okay, so round 4, the pineapples are going to start to pineapple, if you will. So for starters, chain up 2 and double crochet, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets. So we're going to be doing double V clusters in the double V clusters, and we're going to build off the pineapples. That's essentially how this round is going to work. So we got a double V cluster in the double V cluster, chain 1 space over here, another double V cluster. So 2 doubles. Chain 1 and 2 more doubles. There we go. Okay, now going to chain 3 and into the chain space in between our doubles, single crochet like so. Chain 3, single in the next chain space, chain 3, single in the next chain 1 space, and so on and so forth. Chain 3 and single. Chain 3 and single. Chain 3 and single, chain 3, single, chain 3, single, chain 3, and single. So at this point, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of your little chain 3 arches. This chain 3 space, we're not counting that. So we've got 8 little sort of picot-ish loop thingies going on here. And then onto the side here, chain 3, and a double V-stitch into each of the chain 1 spaces. So into that chain space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. See, now that we're getting into the groove, it's going to go a lot easier and a lot faster. And then into the next chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 more doubles. And I think that that's why the pineapple is so popular, because it, honestly, it flies by, really. Okay, so time for another pineapple. So chain 3, single into the chain space, chain 3, and single, chain 3, and single, chain 3, and single, chain 3, and single, chain 3, single, chain 3, single, chain 3, and single, chain 3, and single. Okay, and yes, I'm going to double count to make sure I've got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Okay, then we have our front spine. So we need 3 double V clusters, 1 in each of the chain 1 spaces, excuse me. I do get tongue-tied. So chain 1 space, 2 doubles. Oh, hang on. See, I made a boo-boo. My mistake. I needed to add the chain 3. After my last little arch there, chain 3. And then going in to that chain 1 space with 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. See, I am not infallible. I do make mistakes. I try to fix them, but I do make them. It does happen. And just because now I'm paranoid. Okay, good. Just making sure that I got my chain 3 spaces where they need to be. Okay, so I got my first double V cluster. Now I need 1 here and 1 here. So into that next chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. See, I like chit-chatting with you guys while I'm doing this. And sometimes, yes, it means I make a boo-boo. It happens. Okay, and then into the next chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Yeah, one thing that I don't think I will ever do is do some sort of AI generated voiceover of what to do. No, I don't think I will ever do that. Okay, so we have our front facing spine good to go. From here, chain 3, and then into the chain 1 space in between the doubles, single, chain 3, 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 and another one, chain 3, one more, single. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Okay, so we got our 8. Then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And into the chain 1 spaces, double V clusters. So into that first chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. And then into the next chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay. And we've got another fan. So chain 3. Single in the chain space. Chain 3. Single in the chain space. Chain 3. Single. Chain 3. Single. Chain 3. Single. Chain 3. Single. Chain 3. There we go. Single. Chain 3. All right, my yarn's getting tangled. One sec. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so I did my chain 3, single in the next space, chain 3, single in the next space, chain 3, and, well, we're out, so let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Okay, and I did my chain 3, and so into this next double V cluster, into that chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, there we go. Okay, and then going to go directly into the next double V cluster with a slip stitch into that first double crochet, second chain from the bottom, slip stitch into the next double, and then slip stitch into the chain space. So we are all set to go for the next round. So the pineapples, well, they are getting there. Now, yeah, at this point, you know, like if you don't like fiddle and tweak and manipulate your piece, you know, it will be wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, a little bit warped and so forth, just like my personality. And but this is approximately where you should be at this point. Alrighty. Okay, and we shall proceed. Okay, row 5, round 5 for that matter, is very much the same as round 4, with a slight increase involved in between the double V clusters, just a chain 1 space. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. So start off by chaining up 2, into that same space, another double, chain 1, and 2 more doubles for our double V cluster. There. Then chain 1, and then going into the next double V cluster, chain 1 space with 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. There we are. And then we're going to treat our pineapples the same as we did on the previous round. So chain 3, and then into the chain 3 space. Now, not this chain 3 space, but the pineapple chain 3 space, the little loop. All right, so into that chain 3 space, single, chain 3, 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 and single. So for this round, the number of pineapple loops you should have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, scooting right along, chain 3, double V cluster into the chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, in between the double V clusters, chain 1, and then into the chain 1 space, again, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay, now for the next pineapple, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, into this chain space. Again, be sure that you don't go into this one, into this chain space, single, chain 3, 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 and single. Okay. Onto the front spine. Gotta get there though, so chain 3, and then into the chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, chain 1, in between the double V clusters, double V cluster into the chain 1 space of the next, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, okay, chain 1, and then into the next double V cluster, chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, now for the next pineapple, chain 3, and then into the chain 3 space, single, chain 3, and single, chain 3, single, chain 3, single, chain 3, single, chain 3, single, there we go, chain 3, single, one more, chain 3, and single. Okay, pull out a bit more yarn. There we go. Okay, so we reached the side spine, if you will. So chain 3, and then into the double V, that chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, chain 1 in between the double V clusters, and then into that chain 1 space, 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Chain 3, into the chain 3 space, single, chain 3, single in the next, 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 2 more, chain 3, single in the next, chain 3, single. Okay, we are just about at the end here. So, chain 3, and then double V cluster in that chain 1 space. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 more doubles. There we go. Chain 1. Don't forget that chain 1. And then we do our slip stitch join. Second chain from the bottom, the top of that double, slip stitch into there, slip stitch into the next double, and then slip stitch into that chain 1 space. And there you go. That's the end of round 5. And we are definitely getting there. And this is looking gorgeous already. And actually, you know what? Come to think of it, if if you were to if you were to put some like fabric stiffener in this, and then you could like use it as a picture frame, that would be actually kind of cool. You know, it's not necessarily something I would do, but that would be really wicked. At any rate, there you go. That is round 5. Alrighty, my dears. So that's going to conclude part 1 of the Pineapple Poncho tutorial. And we made a really good start so far, but we've got so much more to do. And, like I said, I like to be thorough. So that's why I'm trying to take it relatively slow and be thorough and everything. I hope you guys can appreciate that. And so that being said, listen guys, I really hope that you're enjoying the tutorial so far. Stay tuned for more. In the description box down below, of course, I will have the timestamps and a link to the playlist so that you can follow along with the rest of the series as I release it. And also in the description box down below is where you can find Pound of Love. Again, a big thank you to Lion Brand for sponsoring this video series. You guys are awesome sauce. Thank you so much. And you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.